All right, what's going on, guys? This is Fatman and the Hawk. We're live on Facebook on 32 NFL Warzone, on Fatman and the Hawk Facebook group, and on YouTube. I am the Hawk,
and I'm the Fat Man. Let's get to talking some football. It's been a long week.
Yes, it has been a long week, which is like the worst time period of all of our lives right now. There's no NFL on TV. It makes us all very sad. But I think some of our best content has been the power rankings, which we haven't been able to do for a while. And that's what we're going to give for you guys. We're going to do a little power ranking, pre-draft power rankings, pre-draft playoff picks, a little bit. One of the big news is that happened over the last week. And the Fat Man's got some salary cap stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of salary cap stuff. I don't know. You want to get into salary cap stuff, or do you want to go over, some early predictions? Maybe we just say hi to everybody first. It looks like we're still waiting. Looks like we're still waiting for some people to pop in here. So,
well, we do have 12 on right now. So,
you want to dive? We can dive into the salary cap.
Let's get right in it.
All right,
salary cap after. We'll do pre-draft power rankings.
Okay.
All right. You usually go first on these, so I'll let you go first.
All right, so this is easy. How can you have a pre-draft power ranking and not put the team that just won the Super Bowl on top? I like the Buccaneers on top.
Yep, I agree. It's just one of those things. You said it all year when we were doing these videos. You're the champ until you're not, and they're going to stay on top until we get proven otherwise. So I got the Bucs also.
I really like that Winfield kid they have.
Yeah, I know. You're a huge fan.
Especially since they rubbed it into Tyreek Hill a little bit.
I'm actually just a huge, huge fan of their defensive line, and I love that wide receiver core. And obviously, I do like Tom Brady. So
give me some Sue, buddy. I feel bad. I gave that jersey away. I got too fat. It didn't fit no more.
Yeah.
At 2, again, they were there. I'm going to put that's where the Chiefs are going. I have no reason to believe otherwise.
At 2, I have somebody else. I decided to put the Green Bay Packers at number 2. I felt like the team overall played Tampa Bay a lot better than the Chiefs did. They were the NFC's number 1 seed. They just have to get themselves, a solid number 2 wide receiver. I guess MVS and Allen Lazar, they may need to just move on from him, get somebody else. This would be a team that a lot of people are really talking about that could land like Allen Robinson or someone like that. That would be huge.
They're going to lose Aaron Jones.
Yeah, but they still have Aaron Rodgers. That's really matters for them.
Jones is going to come on down to Miami. 3, I have the Bills. They got a little bit to work on, but Josh Allen's got a rocket, man. They impressed me this year. They were laying a whooping on some teams there at the end of the season. They just kind of stumbled a bit in the playoffs.
At number 3, this is where I put Kansas City. Obviously the team made the Super Bowl. They just kind of looked like doo-doo, obviously, because they had offensive line issues. Is what it is. They came really close to repeating. I don't think there's a secondary in the NFL that can cover Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce combo. It's just I don't think it even exists right now.
I don't see how you can say they came close to repeating after the beating they took, but okay.
Well, they were there. They were there. That's why they were close.
I still stand firm. That Bucs defense won that game.
Oh, for sure.
At 4, with the biggest trade we've had so far this offseason, finally got themselves a quarterback. I got the LA Rams. I think they're going to impress some people this year. I think good old Matt Stafford's going to have a revival to his career.
You mean nobody except the Bucs defense can cover them? Well, honestly, let's be real. It wasn't really them covering him. It was just them blasting Mahomes every chance they had. At number 4, this is where I decided to put the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen was huge for them. It is kind of like let's see exactly where you're going to be this year type of thing for him. But he played phenomenal last year. He struggled a little bit in the playoffs, but nothing too crazy. Really talented defense, a team that people don't really talk about a lot on defense, but they're a talented football team. So that's who I got at number 4.
Now I'll talk about the Packers. I have the Packers slotted in at number 5. They're going to lose Aaron Jones. Sometimes their defense doesn't show up. Not sure how I feel about them going into this year. Rodgers is getting older. Always a good chance he's going to get a little lit up. Their starting left tackle should be back. Bakhtiari, or however you pronounce it. He's rather impressive. I think he gave up 1 sack in 3 years or some crazy stat like that. So at the Packers at 5.
Shout out to Rudy. Thanks for joining us, buddy. He's a Lambs fan, unfortunately, so I like him a little less than I probably should. Speaking of that, at number 5, I've got the Los Angeles Lambs as well. Pretty much the same reason. We've been talking about this all year. They've been a quarterback away. They got the quarterback now. Matthew Stafford, 38 game-winning drives, 30 NFL fourth-quarter comebacks. That's on the Lions. He doesn't have to carry this football team no more. He doesn't have to carry a football team no more. Now he's got a team that can carry him. That's where I got LA at 5.
So before I get into number 6 here, we have a person behind the scenes. She knows a way to throw a link up there for you guys to go ahead and click on that link, and we'll be able to see your names in the chat here. It'll make it easier for us. We won't have to be watching 3 different screens. It would really help out, so we know who we're talking to. We like talking to you guys. We want to give you credit for your comments. Some of them are pretty good. So number 6, second biggest move of the offseason. They were a good team last year with a busted-ass old man back there playing quarterback, but he talked a whole bunch of shit the whole way. I have the Indianapolis Colts. Carson Wentz is going to turn it around. He's reunited with Frank Reich. He's going to look like an MVP again.
You heard it here first.
Supposed to go deep.
You heard it here first. Carson Wentz is going to look like an MVP again. Remember, I didn't say it; he did. All right. So when you come at the podcast, come strictly at the Fat Man.
Bring all the shit talking. I'll take it.
And number 6, yeah, I could see your comments, Dave. I got the comment section opened up on my phone so I could read you guys.
Yeah, it's not that we can't – hold on. It's not that we can't see the comments. It's through StreamYard on the right-hand side for us. All the comments come up, and they're coming from 3 different places. So it's easier if everyone clicks on the link so that we could see their names as we're going through.
Oh, boy. Donta, the disrespect. We them boys. You better stay them boys.
Hey, they might be coming up, bud. Chill out. We ain't done yet.
Yeah, we're not done yet. All right, so back to my number 6. I've got the Baltimore Ravens. I am a huge Lamar Jackson fan. That's not going to change. There's quite a few wide receivers out there that could possibly land to help him out. What's going on, Rob? Thanks for joining us. I've got the Baltimore Ravens sitting at 6, and I don't see them going away next year.
Lamar Jackson gets hurt 4th week of the season. Number 7, I like the Cleveland Browns. Not only do I like them number 7, I like the Cleveland Browns to win that division. They got really hot there toward the end of the season. They got a lot of talent on that football team, and they have one of the things I love, 2 bell cow backs. I love seeing that in today's game. I think that'll take you far. So 7's where I put the Browns.
Number 7 to me, I might just be a homer, but that's okay. I've got the Seattle Seahawks. They're definitely improving on the coordinator side, getting Shane Waldron. The team's looking pretty good in salary cap. They just need a couple more pieces on the D line, although I do like a lot of the things I'm seeing from the young guys. This is where I got the Seahawks, expecting completely different offense next year, so we'll see how that works out.
Kind of funny you just mentioned Seattle. I have them at 8.
Andrew, we have them at number 5 and number 4, respectively. Higher than the Seahawks, don't worry.
Love that Matt Stafford. You're up. I just called Seattle at 8.
Oh, I didn't see it. My loud mouth probably spoke over you.
Yeah, you were.
Number 8 for me, this is where I got Indianapolis Colts. They've got a really good young defense. Love their running back. The move for Carson Wentz is a really good fit. I know he's got some issues. I don't see this hurting him or being worse for them than Phillip Rivers. And don't worry, Dylan, I saw that. I'm not sure if you think that's too low or way too high. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit. But yeah, that's where I got Indianapolis. I think them grabbing Carson Wentz was a really, really smart move for them, and I won't be surprised to see them in the mix next year.
So now we're up to number 9. There you go. That's why I said hold on to your panties. Number 9 is where I put the Dallas Cowboys. Dak's going to be back. Him and Zeke have a good relationship. Hopefully they build a defense. Oh, yeah, look at that. You're a closet Cowboys fan. Sit down over there. They have one of the best put together receiving cores in the NFL. You know, they have 3 good receivers. Yeah, so I put the Cowboys at 9.
Whoa. Number 9, I'm going the Cleveland
I didn't see it
Browns.
coming either.
I didn't see that one. Number 9, I got the Cleveland Browns. You know, that offense with OBJ next year is going to be fucking amazing. I can't really 9 try 1. Man, someone's a homer. But yeah, that's where I got Cleveland at number 9. They're going to be battling with Baltimore the entire time next year for that division. I really like the way that that team played through the playoffs. I like the team all last year, and I think OBJ getting it back is going to be huge for him. So that's where I got Cleveland.
10 is where I put Baltimore. I think, look, it's hard to argue. Lamar Jackson is hard for me to watch. I'm just scared he's going to get whacked like Baylor Bob did. Outside of that, I like Harbaugh. He's a pretty good coach. So let's see what they can do. But I'll put him at 10 for now.
A little high for me. Jackson's going to have that much more film on him, and I see that division getting really competitive. One thing we do agree on is how competitive that division is. I do think that the Steelers are going to be a little lacking next year, because there's just so many question marks on that football team. So with that being said, I do think they're still going to be in it, so to speak. And then, that division is just going to be up for grabs all year, I think. Let's see if I can tag Leanne on the other one. All right. You already say your number 10?
Yeah, that's where I put Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, my fault.
That's why you threw that Jackson comment. Come on, dude, pay attention. You're the one that's prepared.
I know, I was answering comment. Give me a break here. What's going on, Nemo? Number 10, this is where I put the New Orleans Saints. They're kind of in cap hell. We'll be talking about that soon. But reviewing their season last year, they kind of underwhelming for them that they lost to the Bucs in divisional, but they played phenomenal. I thought Taysom Hill was great. I'm not really sure who I want to see back there for them next year. We already know it's not going to be Breeze, but they're a good football team regardless.
Did you just put the Saints at 10?
I put the Saints. Dude, you have the Cowboys at 9. You could just put a sock in it.
Put something
I
else.
put the Saints wherever I want. If you're going to put the Cowboys in the top 10 power ranking,
I'll put something else in that sock later.
All right. Let's move on here.
Got you all screwed up now.
All right. So another thing that we tend to see a lot on the on the lives that we've been doing is like, who do we see, making the playoffs next year? It's very, very, very early. And, a lot of the teams that we probably are going to say are probably not even going to make it because anything can happen in this offseason. The offseason is going to be crazy. Easy on my Cowboys now. Hey, they're not just your Cowboys, Dante. There's a lot of fans for that football team. You chill out.
He's a closet Cowboys fan over there, Dante. So he knows what I said is true. In his mind, he has Seahawks 1, Cowboys 2. That's his power ranking.
Shut the hell up, man. Listen, Dante thinks I hate the Cowboys. I think it's entertaining for him to think that. So let's keep it going that way.
Nobody knows more Tony Romo stats than that guy over there.
I don't know anything about Tony. All right. So some pre-draft playoff predictions. I'm going to go first. We're going to start in the NFC. The number 1 seed for next year, the Los Angeles Lambs.
Oh, you're starting with the NFC, huh?
Yep. I'm going to put the Los Angeles Lambs as the number 1 seed next year. They're in a really tough division. Their schedule's a little tougher. I get all that, but that's the best defense in football. That's coupled with a really good offensive-minded coach and now a good quarterback. I think that team is going to be set.
I didn't realize we were putting numbers on the seedings.
Well, we'll have some fun with it.
I'll be doing it from the hip then. But again, you're the champ until you're not. You want to talk about another good defense? I watched them shut down a high-power offense in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with three bum linemen. Okay, chill out on that defense.
Why are you picking on Kansas City's line?
Because they didn't have 3 of their starters.
Don't care. Number 1 for the NFC, Tampa Bay Bucks.
Look, Rudy's all happy. He's like, these guys are showing some love to those Lambs. All right.
It's all Stafford.
Our number 2 seed. Hey, you watch your language on this chat. Our number 2 seed for the NFC for me is going to be the Green Bay Packers. I don't see them going away. They're kind of like the, they're like the team that you have to beat to get into the Super Bowl on the NFC side, right? So maybe that's the team that the Rams have to beat next year. So we'll see.
2 is where I put the Rams. Your Hawks don't stand a chance next year, but
they stand a chance. Listen, they're not out of it. As long as my boy Russell's there. Number 3, this is for Donta. This is for you, bud. Coming out of the NFC East as a division winner, the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, after you were tearing me up.
I'm seeing this team turn around completely next year. The addition of Dan Quinn, they're going to be going to a very base defense, a defense that likes to rush forward, that likes to play man coverage. I think that you're going to really enjoy what you see over there.
It's the shiny baldness.
Oh, my God. Who said that? I'm not sure who said that. That's funny. I think that was in the Fatman and the Hawk Facebook group. But, yeah, back to the Cowboys. The Dan Quinn signing was huge. I really like that wide receiver core as well. And with Dak Prescott coming back, they're going to have a great, great offense. So don't be surprised. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if Dallas is one of the best teams in the NFL next year.
Green Bay.
I know exactly who we're talking to now there. Listen, it's not that I don't like hockey, right? But we're strictly a football podcast. But maybe one day I'll finally start watching it. I do like the fights though.
But hockey is like baseball. It's one of them sports you got to be there.
Yeah. All right, you're on your number 3 seed, bud.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
For all the reasons we already listed.
Mm-hmm.
They still got, old man Rogers back there. They still got they're still going to have Devontae. We'll see if they can do something with the defense.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing the podcast there, Marlon. Much appreciated. Number 4, this is where I put Tampa Bay at. A lot of it's because I really feel like the Falcons are going to be there next year. I really like Arthur Smith. I like a lot of things that he said. I think they're going to be pushing Tampa Bay for that division for some of the year until about probably late when things are starting to make sense. they'll end up getting kicked out. But I really feel like they're going to have some issues within their defense or within their own division to really stand out and push for the number one seed. I do see Tampa Bay getting a couple losses, like 5 or 6. I don't see like some crazy 14-2 type of season, but they'll still be good, and they'll probably be the team to beat in the playoffs too. So don't take it the wrong way. Like I'm over here thinking that the Bucks are terrible, which they absolutely are not. Yo, Dante, thanks for the share, buddy.
I can't believe you just took the Falcons, dude.
I took Tampa Bay.
Oh,
I was saying my reasoning behind it is I think that the Falcons are going to be pushing them a little bit.
Oh, I don't see that happening, but all right.
Clean the taters out of your ears.
Big old sweet tater farm up in there. Number 4, Dallas. They're going to be a division winner. Like I said, 3 great receivers. Dak will be back, maybe. Not even if Dak doesn't come back, they don't re-sign him. They still got Andy Dalton. He's serviceable. He's been in the playoffs before. So I'm taking Dallas to win that division. All right. Even though I love Washington's defense and everything they're doing over there.
I think Atlanta cleans house this offseason. I've seen quite a few reports coming into the offseason after Arthur Smith was their head coach that he's got no plans of getting rid of like Matt Ryan. I do think they are going to get rid of quite a few pieces, but I don't think it's anything that's going to be like groundbreaking for the Falcons. If anything, I think that they're going to be back on track. That's just like how I feel about Atlanta. But we'll see going forward, bud. Number 5, first wild card spot. This is where I got my football team, the Seattle Seahawks. They got a rough schedule next season. Plus, their division got a whole lot better. All 4 teams are very, very, very tough. But I do think they'll be the number 1 wild card team going into the NFC playoffs next year.
God damn it, dude! I hate when we have to agree. 5 is where I put Seattle too. I think they're. It was weird because last season you saw them. Their offense was playing great the first half of the year. Their defense was poop, and then the defense started playing average, and their offense started playing like poop. So if they could all put all the poop in the same pot, maybe they'll get something going again.
Mm-hmm. Number 6. This is where I got the San Francisco 49ers. God, I hate this football team. But I'm just going to be real for a minute. They're another football team that's a quarterback away. They got hit with the worst injury bug season I've ever seen in my entire life, and I think we've all had like quite a surprise seeing that. They're going to get everything back though next year, except for a couple pieces that they won't be able to sign or are just too old. I think we're going to see the Niners back in it next year. And considering we still have the draft yet, we still got free agency. Maybe they pick up a quarterback, and if they do, I feel like this team skyrockets all the way up to number 1. So that's just how I feel. Niners trash. Dante, being a Cowboys fan, I can see why you don't like the Niners, bud.
Yeah. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. Yes. Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins. It's going to be Jefferson's second season. They still got Thielen. They looked good some games last year, looked bad some games last year. I think Cousins takes a hell of a lot more flack than he should. I like the Minnesota Vikings.
It's crazy. Just like you, I don't like when we agree on things. And at number 7, I also got the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, we don't agree. I have them at 6.
Well, they're in the playoffs for us, so that's all that matters. A lot of the things that you said, biggest thing for them, they got to hold on to Cousins. I don't think Dakota Niners are winning the Super Bowl. You spelled Winers wrong. Your team spelled Winers, bud. If you come in on this live, you got to refer to your team as the Winers. But yeah, I got the Vikings at the 7th seed. Dalvin Cook, their wide receiver tandem, Rudolph, underrated tight end. They're going to have a lot of pieces back. They got to figure out their defense, though. So,
yeah, they're coming around.
Here, I'll put that up there for you, Dakota. Thank you very much.
So, number 7, they were number 7 last year. I think they're going to be number 7 again this year. They signed themselves their quarterback. I like the Washington Redskins. There's too much invested in that defensive side of the ball for them not to stop some people. So,
Russell Wilson getting traded for crying about being hit. You want to put a link in the chat that he was actually crying for getting hit, please, because I want to see that. All right.
he did.
On to the AFC side.
Right about his offensive line.
On the AFC side, I've got sitting at the number 1 seed. Gonna make Dylan a little more pissed at me because I got the Baltimore Ravens being the number 1 seed next year. I'm telling you, man, this team is going to be good. I think LJ is going to be more improved. I don't care how much film you got. You just don't have film that's going to stop a guy like him, at least not yet, not this young, not in his prime. Ravens at number 1 for me at the number 1 seed next year in the playoffs. Look, Nemo over there. Yes, sir.
Buffalo. I have Buffalo at number 1.
Ooh, Bills Mafia. That's pretty good.
And I'm a Dolphins fan. You know how much that hurts?
Yeah.
God damn.
Why doesn't Seattle have a first-round pick?
Jamal Adams.
Yeah, they traded him away. But that's okay. I liked who we got for it. That's okay. At number 2 in the AFC, I'm going to put the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not saying this is going to be a dramatic, high type of record for number 2 either. I'm thinking this is going to be around 11-5, 10-6, 12-4-ish, where I see most of the top teams in the AFC side outside of the Ravens, which I think could push the 14-2 margin. This is where I'm going to put Kansas City.
Yeah, 2 is where I have Kansas City too. It was hard not putting them in number 1, man, because like we said, they were there at the end of the year. I think Hilaire is going to improve. I think he's going to hit, the mark for the running backs this year of 1,000 yards pretty easy. I like him. You still got, Kelsey and Hill. What more can you say about the Chiefs?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where J.J. Watt ends up.
Maybe. That's a good one. I got the Bills getting the number 1 seed in my AFC for my super early prediction. Okay. I wonder if there's going to be some hate about where I have the Bills in my playoffs, and I kind of hope so.
Maybe.
Not a consistent passer.
Dolphins comment you had up there, bud.
I know, but this one's a little bit before, and I'm trying to answer. I got it on my brain. We'll talk about that in a second because I'm about to talk about that in a minute. So get ready. Not a consistent passer to me. I think Baltimore takes a big time step back. I love LJ though. So in traditional drop back passers, Lamar Jackson is not a consistent passer, but a passer that runs the RPO as well as he does. He's very, very, very consistent. In fact, he's the best ever in NFL history to ever do it. So if he keeps up at this pace, I don't see any slow coming to Lamar Jackson at anytime soon. I don't think there's really film on this guy. That's why I got them so high. This is why I'm huge on them. And I do agree that they need a number 1. So I agree with your comment, Nemo. All right, so number 3 seed.
There's lots of film on the guy, but you can watch all the film you want. That ain't going to slow him down at all. The guy runs like a deer. And look, he's an okay passer. You like him a lot more than I do. He's an okay passer. The problem is when the playoffs roll around, he doesn't play like the same guy. And look, I guess I ain't really got shit to talk because I watched Marino for years not get to a Super Bowl. And then ever since then, quarterback's just been a nightmare over there in Miami. But what scares me with Lamar is him getting cracked, because I don't think he like Russell Wilson knows how to roll away from a hit. You never see him get smoked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just afraid Lamar Jackson is going to get smoked, and that's going to be it.
Mm-hmm. But all right, I'm thinking Dolphins get Chase at 3 and Harris at 18. I'm still kind of speculating on exactly what's going to happen for the draft, but I feel like that's a pretty good prediction there. Hilaire don't need improvements already. Good. He needs more touches. I
agree, Danny.
I 100% agree. All right, let me get to my number 3 here. I answered that comment already. My number 3 team, my number 3 seed in the AFC for next year, this is where I'm going to put the Miami Dolphins. Yes, winning their division. Yes, over the Bills. The whole AFC is just getting tougher with the amount of cap space the Dolphins have, the amount of draft capital that they have. This team being already a good football team, they're only going to get better. The numbers say they're going to get better. That's going to be my favorite next year for the division title in the AFC East.
So are you coming around on Tua on me?
You're coming around on that team as a whole.
Are you coming over to the Tua side? You're coming over to the Tua side.
The Tua side.
Number 3, I have Indianapolis.
Running quarterbacks don't make it in this league. It's a fact. Love Lamar too. He could make plays, but until he makes more plays throwing the ball, it's going to be a no from me. I think he's made a lot of great plays throwing the ball. I think you should watch the highlights of the second game between the Ravens and the Browns. When Lamar comes back from taking a poop in the locker room, just watch all the throws he makes. I think he was still kind of pinched in there, and he didn't want to run as much. All right, number 4. This is where I got Indianapolis.
Put my boy Trace McSorley in.
Trace McSorley. But number 4, this is where I got Indianapolis. You already seen how we feel about Wentz. I think Wentz is a great fit. It's already a really, really strong football team. So this is where I've got, Indianapolis. We'll see. We'll see how they work out.
Cleveland, number 4. They're going to easily win that division. I'm high on the Browns.
Mm-hmm. What's funny, Rob, is our picks aren't necessarily too off. We pretty much have the same teams outside of 2. At number 5, first wild card team for me, I've got the Cleveland Browns. They're just gonna. I just feel like the Ravens are just gonna be a little bit too strong for them to actually win the division. But that's where I got Cleveland. Maybe they do improve on their defensive line, and that's already a really, really strong defensive line. So them getting better there is just kind of scary overall.
You
1 second. You can go ahead and talk. Just keep talking.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So 5 is where I put Baltimore. It's like I said, they're a good team. They do need a number 1 wide receiver. I am scared about Lamar taking a good whack, but we saw all he needs to do is go take a good poop, and he'll come out there and he'll run around and he'll do things. The defense is pretty solid, and like I said, it's not that I think Lamar is a bad quarterback. I think I'm just scared he's going to get waffled and end the season. And he plays completely different come playoff time. He's not nearly as efficient in the playoffs. Well, we're waiting for him to come back. If he comes back, I'll go ahead and give you number 6 is where I put Tennessee. I'm not a Tannehill fan. I've made that blatantly clear several times. I do love me some Derrick Henry. And if they get a little bit of a pass rush down there in Tennessee, it might be a different story. We like to talk about J.J. Watt a lot. He's out there. he could probably help in Tennessee. I just don't know if he has any interest in going there. What are you doing over there, hockey boy? There we go.
Having some technical issues.
There we go. Hawk went to put his Steelers jersey on. There you go. I believe that. Well, we can still hear you. We don't have to see you.
Yeah, go ahead. Do the next one. Oh, found out the issue. There we go.
I just did. I went with 6. You want me to go to 7? 7.
Yeah,
Seven.
go ahead. I'll catch up.
7's where I put my Dolphins. I'm a Tua believer. I think without Fitzmagic there this season, he's not going to be constantly looking over his shoulder, even though those guys had a good relationship. I'm not going to make any secret about it. Miami needs a number 1 wide receiver, and they need a running back. Devontae Parker is overrated. He's a bum. He's always hurt, but I still like Miami in the number 7 slot.
All right, so I missed out on 6 and 7. So number 6, this is where I've got the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert, he's only going to get better. They got some good wide receiver core over there. They just needed a couple pieces, but I think with the quarterback play, them having a coach change, I think this is just going to benefit them overall. So that's where I got LA. Taking a quick drink here.
Yeah,
number 7 for my Steeler fans. This is where I put Pittsburgh. Yep, I still got all 3 teams making the playoffs. Yes, they got some issues on the salary cap that we've been beating the all hell out of over the last several weeks, trying to predict on what possibly they could do. But Mike Tomlin, he does not disappoint in the regular season. He's never had a losing record ever. I see the Steelers still being there, and I definitely see them making the playoffs. And as you see, I do not have the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs.
What the hell is wrong with you? This is where I'm going to give you heat.
Give me some heat, all right? You got the Cowboys at number 9 over there, so.
And you have the Cowboys as the number 3 seed in the playoffs.
Oh, you'll see, bud. That's a playoff prediction, and it's fun.
I'm not disagreeing with you. You just said I got them at 9, but I don't know how you have Buffalo off the board.
Oh, boy. All right, so we got Bills, Browns, Chiefs, Titans, Ravens, Colts, and Dolphins. It's not a bad list. We pretty much got all the same teams inside of the Titans and the Bills. All right, so let's move on to the biggest news that over the last week. Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously you see that we feel pretty strongly about it. We want to know how you guys feel about it. Carson Wentz, he had a really, really, really bad year. It just looked like a lot of head things. He couldn't get himself right. Basically he played like that comment right there. Obviously she's a huge Carson Wentz fan. But yeah, let's look at what Carson's done previously. He was on an MVP caliber season in 2017. Last year, or the year before last year, he was the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for over 4,000 yards, and not a single wide receiver on his team broke even 500, and that's just something that was never heard of. And so I could see Carson being in the situation is like this comment here is really in the perfect situation, but it can get ugly if they don't get a left tackle to keep him safe. It's very true. I really, really like where Wentz is at, and I like the football team he's at.
So you know what I would like right now? More than anything? Now that we're in this nice big 32 NFL teams Warzone group, I would like an Indianapolis Colts fan to come on here and chat with us about this and give us their perspective on what they think about Carson Wentz coming to Indy.
Yes.
So our tech lady behind the scenes can go ahead and throw the link in both groups for us. So if anybody wants to come in and talk to us about the Wentz move, we can get them on camera with us, and we can sit here and we can have an intelligent conversation about it. So Wentz's best year was when Frank Reich was in Philly. Not last season, but the season before. He won it. He won games at the end of the season, thrown to lawn chairs to get the Eagles in the playoffs. I think Wentz is good enough, and Indianapolis is going to be dangerous. We've seen what they did last year with Phillip Rivers, who can't throw the ball more than 20 yards anymore. I think if Wentz can dial back on the interceptions, Indianapolis is going to be dangerous. I like the Wentz move.
If he stays healthy, I believe the Colts will be a dangerous team in the AFC. Let's not forget he's a good scrambling quarterback as well. You know what, Rob? And I really feel like that's one of the things that gets him in the most trouble. You know, last season when we were watching him play, I felt like there was a lot of times he had things there that he just flat out missed, or there was things that weren't there that he was trying to make a play on and just, threw ducks. Carson Wentz does have tremendous scrambling ability, though. He's really good at not getting on the turf. So, I mean, just a down year, really. It could be just his worst season ever and just comes right back and lights it back up. From Danny, bullshit. He got his money and he laid down. The other issue, he's never healthy when his team does make the playoffs, which did happen, I believe, twice now. They made the playoffs. Their Super Bowl, he got hurt, and then, he got taken out by Clowney against the Seahawks, so he didn't really get to play. So those are true statements, and, you need your guy available in the playoffs. That's just how it is.
The best ability is availability.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Top 5 O-line, top 5 defense, top 5 running back group. Receivers are nice. So if he fails, then he is what the Eagles think he is. Yes. And that's another statement that I agree with, along the lines of they're having their issues. They benched him and all this other stuff. It's like maybe the Eagles really, really are the ones that benefited from this trade.
There's a reason why Doug Peterson got fired.
Yeah. Boom.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing? Thanks for letting me pop in. Where are you at right now? I didn't want to interrupt you guys. You guys, somebody said somebody jinxed my team.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah. Now,
I like
John,
what they're doing, man.
John, you're going with Baltimore to win the AFC North, right?
I've got them being the number 1 seed next year.
Top of the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you, Dave, he's got rocks over there.
Whoa, John, are you being biased on Baltimore? I mean, what you a Lamar Jackson fan? Okay, fine, John. All yours, buddy. No problem.
I'm definitely a Lamar Jackson fan. I love me some Lamar Jackson. This is what it's all about.
The only person he loves more than Lamar Jackson is Tony Romo.
All right, I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna curse my team. I tell you what, I'll give you my perspective a little bit more after free agency, after the draft, and then I'll check the NFL draft track, salary cap tracker. Excuse me, salary cap tracker, and see how the salary cap looks. But I guess Pittsburgh's only 15 million over the cap now. So if Pittsburgh was to release Ben Roethlisberger, which I still say is their best case scenario, the best for the team, they would go. They would drop another 19 million off of that 15 million over the cap, and that would put them $4 million under the cap. If the league raises the salary cap by 5 million and make it up to 180 million max, then Pittsburgh would be they would be $9 million under the cap. So I think letting Roethlisberger go and preparing Mason Rudolph as the starter right now not to get them in the playoffs, but to rebuild until they do find their quarterback of the future, because they don't. That the quarterback of that team, the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers is not on team right now. Rudolph is a backup at best, but he can start until they either draft one or acquire one that's available. Right now, I think if Rudolph was to start, he could get them an 8-8 record on a rebuilding year without with Roethlisberger being released. That's my take on it. That's a scenario. That's all it is.
Don't forget, they just signed Dwayne Haskins too, so maybe they want to see what he's got.
I have a question though for you, Dave. Do you think you can read the comment for us?
Lamar going show Baker who's the big brother. Yeah, but I don't know who's saying it. That's probably Nemo.
Yeah, it's Nemo.
Yeah, it's Nemo.
Shout out to Nemo again. Been very active on the live so far.
Yeah,
Thanks, buddy.
That's great. I want Nemo to be active. I want Nemo to spam it up. You guys got to learn how to spam comments like me. Really get your activity increased. I don't know what we have in Mayfield. I mean, we don't know yet. I know that we're going to have him for the next 2 years, and Mayfield still has more to prove, and hopefully it's going to work out for him with us. But I'm comfortable with what I see in Mayfield going forward from this point on. Now let's try to get him to the next level and go from there. But I'm not gonna give people closure on Mayfield and say, look, this is what we have at Mayfield. This is what we have. Because I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I don't. Of course. I know he's not a bust. I know he's a starter. Okay. He's shown signs of toughness. He's played through being hurt before, bruised ribs. That's one thing for a Cleveland quarterback to be able to start and finish 16 games in the season. Mayfield's done it 2 years in a row. So that's a hell of a start for us in Cleveland. So overall, I mean, I'm happy with where the Cleveland Browns organization is going to this point. I'm not hyping my team up to be better than what they are. That doesn't mean I'm not a loyal Browns fan. That doesn't mean I'm not a true Browns fan. That means I'm a cautiously optimistic Browns fan. And I don't need to curse my team, and I don't need people blasting smoke at me if something don't work out the way I predict. But, I mean, next year is a big year for Kevin Stefanski because everyone in the league is going to find out what type of coach he really is. Because if he puts together back-to-back winning seasons, we might have something in him. Now, if he does this, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying if he goes 5-11 or 7-9, then you're looking at maybe his first year was just a flash in the pan. You don't know. So, anyways, this coming year is going to tell us a lot of what we have. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I'm gonna pop out. I just want to say hi. I want to say thank you. Thanks for launching this podcast in the group. When I'm telling you, it looks so good in 32 NFL Teams Warzone group. We got Leanne rolling here. I sent Leanne a friend request. I tagged her in here on this, and she's got the links and all that. And she can do her behind the scenes operation, the control she operates.
Just so you know, all this fancy stuff up here we wouldn't have without Leanne, because me and John can't figure it out.
That's why she's the lady in the chair.
Well, I might have a moderator position available for Leanne maybe too. So we'll get in here let her moderate the page too, maybe. Anyways, I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to start tagging. I don't know if you guys can go another 15, 20 minutes. You got any, maybe elaborate on
more things.
Yeah,
elaborate on Roethlisberger and the Steelers.
Nah,
please.
There's some teams in more trouble than Pittsburgh.
All right.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, definitely appreciate Dave. We appreciate the NFL 32 Warzone group as much as our own group and the YouTube. Anybody that comes and watches us on YouTube, we appreciate those guys too. But all right, so I don't think we're going to get ourselves a Colts fan, unfortunately.
Yeah, don't seem that. I mean, is there any Colts fans out there? I think I only ever met one.
No. Kind of going back to what we were talking about before our Browns fan came on here. I thought Peterson got fired because of the inability to make it work with Wentz, but then they trade Wentz. I'm still stunned. Guess maybe they didn't believe in the quarterback or the coach. And that's just kind of like Philadelphia's thing, you know? Like, that's just what Philly does, I guess.
Well, the first mistake they made with Carson Wentz was after they won the Super Bowl, they fucking enshrined Nick Foles, you know, make a statue and shit, and he's your backup quarterback. Then you fucking chase him out the next year. That was the first mistake they made. Tell me that's not going to destroy Carson's confidence.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be part of it. There's no way it's not.
And then if I'm Carson, I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, Nick went to Jacksonville, played like poop, gets sent to Chicago, plays like poop, but he won a Super Bowl here. Like, am I worse than that guy? Like, that's got to fuck with your head.
Yeah, especially being like as good as he was. You know, I'm not saying that he's still good, but what he was, you know, he did some tremendous things already in the league, you know, his young career, you know, like to be compared to, no offense to any Foles fans out there, Nick Foles kind of sucks. Maybe that's why Tom Brady doesn't shake his hands. They just don't respect him at the position.
Well, and then I wonder if Peterson really wanted to keep Foles and not Wentz, and keeping Wentz was forced on him, running Foles out.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe Foles was Peterson's guy.
Yeah, maybe. You know, I don't know. I do not know. That's something that one of the NFL's great mysteries. Apparently, we might have some technical issues. No, Carrie, just to give you a heads up, we are live in the Fatman and the Hawk as well. It says is live now. Got it on my phone, so I got a little worried there.
So Dylan says it didn't help they drafted Hurts instead of getting him help. Green Bay drafted Jordan Love instead of getting Aaron Rodgers help. So maybe that move was to light a fire under Carson, and it just fizzled because it seemed to work for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but I think the whole Jordan Love thing was to just let the guy learn, whereas the whole Hurts thing was like, hey, you know, maybe we need a new guy. You know, because we heard about that for so long, so early in the NFL season, you know, until it actually did happen.
If Jordan Love was drafted to learn, then you wouldn't have drafted him in the first round. You wouldn't have traded up to get him.
They're looking for the future, bud. They don't see Aaron Rodgers being in a Packers uniform that much longer, maybe this year and the year after, but after that, off to Tampa Bay he goes.
Off to Tampa Bay, win some more Super Bowls.
Foles is as overrated as it gets. He's shown he can't get it done anywhere besides Philly. Good for him. He got hot at the hot time, but if Foles started that whole year, the Eagles are going 8-8. Statue definitely didn't help. You know, I don't even know if they even go 8-8. I think 8-8 is kind of pushing it. You know, I don't know. Look at this. Jordan Love was insurance because Rodgers is one hit away from a collarbone problem. He actually might have collarbone problems already, to be honest.
Maybe. Didn't look like it, though.
Yep. All right, so let's move on here. Go ahead and take this away. This is
all right. So since we like to talk about salary cap so much around here and how terrible Pittsburgh is in their salary cap position, I went ahead and went on to overthecap.com earlier and pulled this up here so we can see. Could you take the banner down there?
Yep.
So we could see that although the Steelers are in some trouble, and this is, I don't know when they made this list. This is what they had on there today. The Saints are in a world of hurt at like 70 million over the cap. Now, I know they did some things where they, I guess, Breeze, they redid his contract to veteran minimum to kind of save him some room. But, you know, the teams on here that surprised me for how fucking terrible they are and how up against the cap they are the Falcons, 20 million over. The Eagles
43 million over.
Now, most of that with the Eagles is probably the Wentz contract. But, you know, the Lions are 8 million over. The Vikings are 9 million over. So there's some teams there that are going to have to make tough decisions. These are just the teams that are over the cap. And this was with the projected 180 million.
And the Bills, if I'm not mistaken, the Bills have to, at some point, formulate a contract for our man Josh Allen.
Yeah. Well, he might still be. I think he's still on his rookie deal, though.
Oh, yeah, they got some time. But
yeah,
it's definitely something they are definitely in the back of their minds.
So for as bad as it looks for the Steelers, there's definitely 3 teams that are in a hell of a lot worse shape than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Rams, most of that was Goff's contract. I don't know how much dead money they're carrying with that. But I don't know, man. I was surprised to see the Chiefs are 23 million over too. I didn't think a lot of those guys were getting paid.
And it's going to get worse and worse for them. You know, that the Chiefs are going to be probably where the Saints are in like 2 freaking years.
So there's going to be some tough decisions getting made this offseason.
Yeah, and that's why it's a really exciting time. You know, and we still have quite a bit of time until free agency actually starts, and then after free agency starts, you know, they yes, we definitely know that. I definitely remember that being in their for LA. Sorry about that. But anyways, there's a lot of time yet between here till free agency, and then from free agency to when the draft starts, and then from the drafts just to training camps. Like there's still a lot of off season yet. So all this stuff that we're seeing right here, this is most likely going to be the teams we talk about the most during the off season, other than probably the Dolphins and the Seahawks.
I think you're gonna start seeing some big names get cut.
We're not talking like anything crazy. Like nobody's cutting Patrick Mahomes or anything like that. We're just going to be seeing some really, really solid players, going into the free agency market.
Maybe Matt Ryan.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, bud.
There's a lot of money to clear out there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We're at 1 hour and 2 minutes. Seems like the chat has died down a little bit. It's 22 million for Goff. That's our last comment.
Yeah, where's everybody at? Let's go. We're in 2 groups, man. It's awfully quiet.
Yeah, it just went up, and then
the Warzone was a shit talk group, not a let's go night group.
Ooh, can the Browns use Matt Ryan to take Baker Mayfield's place?
Ooh,
I don't know about that one. I don't think that the Browns have to really worry about a quarterback. Maybe for Cleveland in general, they have seen a lot of a body of work from Baker that warrants him some time, at least a couple of years at the very least. If he makes another postseason for Cleveland, he's 100% going to stay a Cleveland Brown for at least 4 or 5 more years after that. Barring some crazy injury. I don't think Matt Ryan even leaves Atlanta at all.
No,
not at all.
You don't think they try and grab a young guy?
They could possibly draft a young guy, but I still don't
save some money.
I still don't see Matt Ryan, losing his job on Atlanta. The guy is on pace to break every single passing record held by Drew Brees right now. He's literally on pace. If Matt Ryan plays the same age as Drew Brees, he breaks everything Drew Brees has.
Okay.
Is that surprising?
No.
Yeah, that's the way the league is.
He blows 30-point second half leads. It's okay. I'm just saying if they want to save money, that's probably not a bad place to look because I think they can get, you just said it, Matt Ryan has value. Somebody might be willing to give him a couple draft picks and go get you a young guy.
Maybe Matt Ryan goes to the 49ers.
Maybe Matt Ryan goes to Miami.
I thought you were all about Tua.
I am all about Tua.
Why do you want Matt Ryan?
I don't know. It just sounded good.
Oh, man. Where do we see Deshaun Watson going to? Honestly, I think that this
Houston.
is going to – right. That's honestly where I think this ends. Him having everything, I did see somewhere out there about a possible Carolina trade for Christian McCaffrey and a couple of picks. I actually do like the trade, but I really don't see him actually leaving Houston. I think they're going to hold on to him and kind of try to make him play for the Texans, and I think we're going to see something very, very similar to Le'Veon Bell, where he's just not going to freaking play. He's just going to be done. That's just my opinion on what's going to happen to Deshaun Watson. I hope that he gets his bearings together and realizes that if he has to sit out for a year, that it kind of tarnishes his football legacy a little bit. Just get back out there and just start playing. Hopefully we don't really see that, but we'll see.
Well, maybe he'll do the Carson Palmer.
Can the Bengals take third place in the AFC North over the Steelers? I mean, they can. Will they? No, not next year at least. They spend all their draft capital on 5 offensive linemen and maybe a couple backup offensive linemen. They're going somewhere. They need to figure out how to protect their quarterbacks.
So it's going to be interesting to see Burrow coming off the ACL. He was playing extremely well up to that point.
Mm.
I don't think the Steelers are going to fall off that much. I definitely think they're, they ain't going to be 11-0, but I don't think they're going to be 2-14 either.
Ooh, I really, really like this one. Which rookie from this year makes the leap, right? And which breakout star from this year fizzles out?
If Denver gets a quarterback, Jerry Jeudy.
Ooh, I like that. Jerry Judy's a beast too. He's a phenomenal receiver.
If Denver gets a quarterback, Jerry Jeudy will make the biggest leap.
I would kind of like the fat man to cover his ears. Tua. Yes, Tua. I spent some time watching his highlights. I've watched quite a few Dolphins games. I just think that all the things that he does wrong are very, very coachable. I definitely think he's going to break out. Now, which rookie makes the leap? Which breakout star from this year fizzles out? I'm not even going to call it like a fizzle out. Maybe I just go and actually think of. I think Justin Jefferson might be the fizzler. I think that I don't think he's going to repeat 1,400 yards. Obviously, I don't think he's going to have a completely terrible year. I think around 900, 1,000, 1,100 is very, very realistic for him. But I don't see another 1,400-yard season coming from Jefferson. You know what, Dylan? It was just something that I'm trying to really, really think on, which Justin Herbert's also another one. He's Domino's is here. He's another one that had a really, really strong season, even for a rookie. At the quarterback position, if he falls off slightly, I guess we can also call that fizzling. Say if he throws 26, 25 touchdown passes around 35, 3,800 yards. Not necessarily a bad season, but definitely not as good as the season he had before. I mean, if that's kind of answers your question a little bit.
And Domino's was like, them some bitches owe me free pizza. The fizzler?
This was hard.
It is hard. Chase Young.
Ooh, that one's a good one.
I think Chase Young won't have quite as good of a season. Not that
I took the obvious picks because I'm over here just stumped. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about this one. My brain was just messing up.
Of course, I could be completely wrong about Chase Young, but
honestly, I hope I'm wrong about both rookies. Of course,
he'll start getting doubled more and getting more attention paid to him.
More attention's paid to him.
Mm-hmm. More attention's paid.
To be fair,
Orlando. Who the hell is Orlando Brown?
Another guy coming out of the draft. I think we're going to save all of the draft talks for the week before the draft. Kind of saving all that content because we're going to have a ton of things to talk about. I just kind of want to do all that coming into the draft, during the draft, and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a lot of crunching to do between now and then because I haven't really watched a lot of college the past few years, so I'm going to have to polish up on that stuff. Apparently,
he's a right tackle for the Ravens. He wants to be traded. Ooh, I'm actually writing this guy down.
Are you going to try to get him to sign with Seattle?
Yes, they need offensive linemen. Well, I want to see how good he is. I actually didn't see this at all. Brown wants to be. Look, I'm writing things down for the podcast because you guys are giving me more fun things to talk about.
Nice.
How do you feel about Cam Newton to Washington and him reuniting with Ron Rivera?
That didn't work out so well last time.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but
it didn't end well.
I think we're seeing the end of Cam Newton, as we speak. I think that maybe we'll see him another year, maybe a year after that, but I don't think we're going to see him anytime flourishing. I don't see we're going to see a great season from him.
So I'm really kind of disappointed in Cam Newton. I had high hopes for Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I thought the situation in Carolina just turned toxic for him, and he was going to go to New England and be rejuvenated. And that first game of the season, he looked rejuvenated. And then I don't know what happened throughout the season. The guy just can't get his mind right. It seems like. I thought his best chance for success was up there in New England. Maybe Belichick can rein him in and work on him, because the guy, like, I remember comparing him to, all right, so me and this knucklehead over here, we spent a lot of time talking about how Cam Newton was maybe comparable to Warren Moon. And we never got that from him. The dude's got a rocket for an arm. He's got a cannon, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work. I don't know if it was injuries here and there, him getting waffled. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see the way things have gone for him.
I am not down for this trade, bud. You want Ethan Posick instead? We'll give you Ethan Posick. You're not getting DK or Lockett. I mean, I've got like this. I think they need to keep Tyler Lockett at all costs. Like, don't get rid of Tyler Lockett. I think that he's a huge asset to Russell Wilson's success, at least over the last few seasons. It's clear that he's his safety net. I think that he reads a defense almost as well as a starting quarterback in the NFL. I really, really like the decisions that he makes on his option routes. I do not want to see Tyler Lockett go anywhere. That being said, I also don't want to see DK go anywhere. At least not right now, and not until he wants some fat, super high, highest paid wide receiver contract in the NFL. Until that happens, I want him to stay as a Seahawk, because we all know that's going to happen eventually.
Well, look, Miami could always use line help. Going back to the Orlando Brown thing.
To be honest about this, Lockett took a role that no receiver really had. Now Baldwin was really phenomenal at route running. Like, he could run any route that you can actually ask the guy to make. He was extremely good at catching the football, at like targeting the high peak of the catch. Like, he was extremely good at doing stuff like that. Lockett, on the other hand, he just is a completely different asset. He's just, that's why he's one of my favorite Seahawks of all time. And honestly, he will be my favorite eventually if he stays a Hawk and plays as long as he's, plays maybe another 5 or 6 years for Seattle. He will become my favorite Hawk of all time.
He's never gonna replace Cam Chancellor in your heart. You know that as well as I do.
Well, I think that he actually will. Like, if Tyler can help us get another ring, and just make some more of those crazy, in the corner of the end zone, like, this guy is the top 5, top 10 touchdowns every year, And I always say, like, enjoyed it, fellas. Gotta go though. Catch y'all next time. Thanks, Danny. You're always here. Thank you for supporting the channel and all that other stuff that you do. Thank you very much. But if Tyler Lockett just keeps doing what he does and just keeps putting up a highlight reel and breaking some more Seattle Seahawk records, I think he will eventually replace Cam Chancellor. I get just as hype when I saw Cam light people up as I do when Tyler Lockett gets like a first down or a crazy catch. I get hype as hell. He's a phenomenal player.
I kind of want to go back to the Orlando Brown thing. So we're thinking teams that need some offensive line help. Where do you think would be some good destinations for him? I mean, I don't know what the guy's chasing either. Does he want a ring? Does he want to get away from Lamar? Does he just want out of Baltimore? I think it was Nemo that put that up there, maybe. If you can kind of give us a little more information as to why he wants out, I'm more than happy to sit here and talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We kind of like observe the entire NFL. Like, we don't know everything. I think our knowledge over the NFL has gotten a lot better since week 6 when we started doing this. We don't know everything though. We're still students of the game. We don't know every single player on every single team. We're getting there though. So if you want to pop in here and talk about your Baltimore Ravens, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, man, it'd be nice to get somebody in here talk about something a little bit more than, I see a lot of Steelers fans pop in on Warzone, and I see some obviously there's a lot of Browns fans that pop in.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Browns fans.
We got a Seahawks guy over there, a Dolphins fan over here. It'd be nice to see somebody come in and talk about a different team. So if everybody wants to hop in and join us, we have fun talking about other teams. So our lady behind the scenes can throw the link up there for you guys one more time. And if you want to join, talk about your team, maybe educate us a little bit. We are hungry for knowledge. Bring it in. I mean, come on. I'm wearing an old ass Cam Wake jersey.
Old ass Cam Wake. So we got some speculation here. You can see Indy Anthony Costanzo retired, and he would be the blind side protector for Wentz for years, especially if Wentz works out. That's a possibility.
Wentz is going to work out.
Ooh, I got a question for both Lamar or Kyler Murray. Okay, how about Lamar right now? Most likely Murray later. I think that Murray's passing ability is really good. His little feet, the way he runs, he looks like that kid that got caught, stealing candy, and you just walked in on him doing it, and you just started running. That's what he looks like running out of the backfield. Thing is Lamar right now, I feel like, is the better player. He has to work with less. He has to do more with less. Kyler's got a way better offense, better wide receivers. I want to see some more time before we make this observation, I guess. Maybe another 2 or 3 years. Let's bring back this talk. Who do you want, Kyler or Murray? And I might, change my mind on that. But right now, Lamar, how do you feel?
Kyler. I'm being a homer. I like Kyler Murray. Them feet, man. He got them Barry Sanders feet, dude. He's just like I brought this up before. For any of you older folks out there who maybe played Super Mario Brothers 2, Luigi, when you jump, his feet would constantly be going. That's Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. And I think as long as he can stay healthy, I think Kyler's a better thrower of the football too.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a better thrower.
He's a guy that can stand there in the pocket, and he's a guy that could let it rip.
Right. Basically, my argument for Lamar right now is the fact that he's just a better winner. He makes better decisions right now. I think Kyler's ceiling's very, very, very high. Thoughts on the Rams trade for Stafford? I'm late for the party. You are late. We've talked about this quite a few times on other lives. We both really feel strongly about it. We think that the Lambs will be in a better position because of it.
I think the part that everybody forgets, though, is that about the Rams being in a better position because they got Stafford. That's the only side of that trade people are talking about. How about Detroit and the position they're in with Goff and the draft picks they got from the Rams?
Well, they're biting kneecaps, bud.
But I think Detroit won that trade.
Biting kneecaps.
Take off the kneecaps, hit him over the head with the club. I love me some Dan Campbell.
Here you go. Thoughts on Sam Darnold? Does he get traded or will he stay in New York? I'm not sure. I think if I'm Robert Saleh, I'm thinking about staying with Sam Darnold. Darnold isn't a terrible quarterback. I think he's more than serviceable. That team just likes to take what pieces he does have and just kind of get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of in a tough situation being a New York Jets quarterback. That being said, you kind of see signs of a good football player when you watch some Sam Darnold. Watched quite a few games of him playing. I think that he's just in a bad situation. So, he's also another quarterback that doesn't get talked about potentially going somewhere, like what he could do for a football team. We kind of overlook We overlook that a lot. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Jets, I keep Sam Darnold, and if I'm a team that's trading, I kind of look his way a little bit to, feel that out a little bit at least.
If I'm the Jets, I blow that shit up and start over. If I'm Robert Salah, I blow that shit up and start over. I would send Darnold packing. Maybe someplace like Denver would give me something for him. Anywhere that needs a quarterback, really. So the first place I think of is Denver, because of what I said earlier. Jerry Jeudy will have a monster year if they get him if they get a quarterback there. And I think Denver has a lot of good pieces around. They're probably going to let Von Miller go too.
Mm-hmm.
He's old as shit, but I really think that if I'm a Jets fan, I'm just praying that they blow the shit up, start over, and get as much capital as they can, build young, and see where it goes. Because the Jets have been in rough shape for a long time.
Yeah. All right.
That is a long ass question.
Okay, so honest question. If you're Watson looking at a trade situation to one of the following: Broncos, Dolphins, Jets, Indy, Carolina, with what would have to be given up for you to go there, who would your top three teams be? I feel like Broncos and Dolphins are the only two with the weapons and pieces to trade to give Watson a shot at the postseason. Broncos have better weapons. The Dolphins have the benefit of an easier division. What are your thoughts? I think that you could put the Niners up with those two as well. I think the best situation for them is San Francisco because, if you're a player in the NFL, what is the ultimate goal? Is to win the Super Bowl. I can't wait for that next question, by the way. The ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. And, if you look at the Dolphins, the Jets, Carolina, the Broncos, are those teams Super Bowl ready with Watson on it? And I think they become playoff contenders for sure, but are they Super Bowl caliber football teams? You throw Watson on the 49ers, that's the favorite for the Super Bowl next year, period. They've got really good young wide receivers that nobody really talks about. Their running game, Raheem Mostert is a beast. That team is stacked on the defensive side. We want to talk about the best defensive linemen in football. I think that our man Nick Bosa should be up there. D Ford should be up there. They're phenomenal football players, phenomenal linemen. And, it's kind of a shame that we missed that whole year of those guys being on there because possibly Bosa pushes for that defensive player of the year, which brings us to our next question.
Well, don't forget that San Francisco has two pretty good receivers too, in Ayuk and Samuel. And we're not just going to blow over the Watson question because we put Miami in there. I don't want Deshaun Watson in Miami. He's a baby. I don't like babies. Good thing I'm not a GM.
You look like a baby with your bald head right now.
Dan Campbell would be my head coach. That's just because I'm old and my shit's falling out. Like half of this is natural. But I think if I'm Deshaun Watson and I want out of Houston so bad, I don't give a fuck where I go as long as it's not Houston. If he hates it in Houston so much, he shouldn't care. And I'm sorry, but if Carolina gives up Christian McCaffrey to Houston to get Deshaun Watson, they're not playoff contenders. The only thing on that team is McCaffrey. If Miami has Tua, I keep seeing stupid trade scenarios where it's you give up Tua and Xavier Howard and 8 draft picks to get Deshaun Watson. Well, you're going to destroy your team if you do that. You're blowing your team up to get Deshaun Watson. Talent-wise, is he top 5? Absolutely. Leadership-wise, he's probably bottom 5. I think he's a good player. He's got all the measurables. He checks all the boxes. It's just there's certain things that if a guy doesn't have it, I'm not impressed with.
Yeah.
Fuck Tom Brady. I gotta start with fuck Tom Brady before I go on my Tom Brady thing. The reason Tom Brady is so good is not because he throws the ball the farthest, not because he throws the ball the most accurate, and not because he can run like a deer. He's probably slightly above average and all this, but he's a hell of a leader. Like, he's got all the leadership qualities. He's got the heart. He's got the fire. He wants to win. That's one thing I could say I appreciate about Tom Brady. Like, this guy was never, coming into college, he wasn't a 5-star athlete. Coming into the pros, he wasn't a top draft pick. The guy just worked hard and I guess perfected his craft. And, he's never been the guy with the strongest arm or the fastest feet, but somehow he wins all the damn time. Anyway, fuck Tom Brady. Back to the Broncos question. Make a trade for Sam Darnold. Leave Watson alone. Watson already said he doesn't want to play in Denver. Trade for Sam Darnold and then let the Jets figure out how they're going to go get Deshaun Watson.
All right, let's move on here. Donald, rightful defensive player of the year. Just so Steeler fans shut up. Yes, he was 100% the rightful defensive player of the year. All of his statistics were comparable to TJ Watt. The sacks, the pressures, the percentages of beating his block, everything was there, right? Everything. Do you want to know what wasn't there, though? The amount of times that TJ Watt was double-teamed compared to the amount of times that Aaron Donald was double-teamed. You're talking about a guy that gets double-teamed almost 70% of the time. He's getting double-teamed by guards and centers, where TJ would get double-teamed by a tight end and a tackle, or sometimes
get that shit off the screen.
Yeah. Thank you. Definitely don't click that again. Or anything close to, no offense to anything about how we feel about that stuff, but that's just stuff that we don't want to talk about, or stuff that doesn't need to belong on the podcast about football, because it could go completely south and everybody's opinions are everywhere on that. So we don't want to talk about that type of stuff.
It's just not an idea worth entertaining.
Anyways, but yes, Aaron Donald is 100% the rightful defensive player of the year. No defender outside of maybe Xavier Howard had a year where they absolutely lit it up on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes. So my pick for defensive player of the year was Xavier Howard, just because of all the turnovers he had. However, there's some chaos in the background. And he's a Dolphin, so obviously he was going to be my pick to see a Dolphin player get some shine. But you can't argue with what Aaron Donald does on the football field.
Yeah,
he eats up blocks. He still gets pressure. He gets sacks. I seen a clip of one game he had 3 guys blocking him, and he
Oh yeah, it was against the Hawks. We had our entire interior offensive line blocking him,
and he's still in the backfield. So.
Yep.
Yeah, there's absolutely not that. Look, TJ Watt absolutely can get there. He was definitely a worthy name to have in the hat. But does the fact that you have to worry about Bud Dupree help TJ Watt? I think so.
Yeah, sure. Your offensive line or your defensive line is a lot better with Dupree. 15% for Watt and 68% for Donald. Yeah, that's basically the points that we're trying to make here. Yep, and it's also the quality of blockers blocking them as well. A tight end and a left tackle versus a guard and a center at blocking. That's a tough one. And here's my case for Watt. Like, what did Watt need to do to become the defensive player of the year? I really think what he needed was to get around 18 sacks, 17, 18. He just really needed to stand out a little bit. Not that he didn't stand out. It's just there was he's comparable. They're comparable statistically, and you can't really take that away from Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's just a monster, and in my opinion, he's probably the best player in the NFL, like football player in the NFL, behind, or maybe even not even behind. He might just be the best, but with Patrick Mahomes, in Russ, as a football player perspective, he's really, really high on the list.
Yeah. But you said, we missed Bosa last year. I think Xavier Howard had a great year. Yeah, Watt had a good year. Donald had a good. There's a lot of good defensive guys out there. What makes it basically why everyone has the gripe that Donald was the pick was because of how good of a year Watt had. What they don't see is, how many people are trying to hold Aaron Donald back. Mm-hmm. And I had this argument with when Sue was in Miami. I had this argument with somebody that was sitting there saying, "Oh, this guy's overpaid. He's trash." And we're sitting there watching the game together. And I'm like, "Did you watch the last play? He had 3 guys blocking him. Like, that's why he can't get to the quarterback. He's got 3 guys keeping him from getting there." So sometimes that mountain of a man that eats up 3 blocks, the bigger reason is why aren't the rest of the guys on the team getting to the quarterback? That's what I'd be worried about if I was the Rams. If I have 3 guys blocking Aaron Donald, somebody else should be killing the quarterback.
Yep, and they definitely have that over there, thankfully for them. But all right, man. Got anything more?
The comments were ripping through here, and I thought I seen one that I wanted to address. Now I got to try and find it. So there was a Broncos fan I saw Dave pointed out. I want to say it was James Burke. He asked the Watson question. I'd like to see if we can get him to come in here and talk to us. See who he'd like to see at quarterback for the Broncos. It'd be nice to talk to a Broncos fan. I don't know many.
Where's TikTok boy Juju going to?
TikTok.
TikTok. He's going to the center of the field of the logos to make another vid. Both of you have Miami in the top 10, and only one of you have Tampa ranked. You guys are special, huh? I think both of us have Tampa Bay ranked 1. Unless you're talking about the description. That's the power rankings in the description. We made those in week 17.
Yeah, a long time ago. So I don't even have Miami in my power rankings, and I have them in the last spot in the AFC for the playoffs next year. And that's because they were, almost in this year. But yes, we are a special kind of stupid.
Yes, we are. That's why we do these, because we love to laugh at ourselves too. Just to recap on what my top 10 was, I got Bucks, Packers, Chiefs, Bills, Rams, Ravens, Seahawks, Colts, Browns, Saints, in that order.
Yeah, I got Bucks, Chiefs, Bills, Rams, Packers, Colts, Browns, Seahawks, Cowboys, Ravens. Yeah, James Burke is the Broncos fan. So if he is still here and would like to come in and talk some Denver Broncos with us, it would be appreciated. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can just come in and talk.
Back to the Juju question. I think it'd be interesting to see him go. I think Patriots would be a good landing spot for them, considering that they – Let them have it. Let them have it. Remember, I didn't say Cowboys over Ravens. Just let you know.
Yes, Cowboys over the Ravens, the one-trick pony Ravens. I think if the Cowboys get a couple of defensive pieces with that receiving core, Dak will be back. Zeke seems to play better with Dak there. Pollard was the other running back they had. He was playing pretty well. He was a good change of pace. So, yes, Cowboys ahead of the Ravens.
It'd be interesting, too, for Juju to go to, say, the Ravens. I think that would be really fun.
That would be fun.
That would be really, really fun Pittsburgh Ravens games. You know, they always have one of the best games of the year.
But it
Or
doesn't
some
matter
of the
because
best.
it doesn't matter because Lamar wouldn't be able to hit him with the ball. I seen a thing last week. I think Juju said he wants to stay in Pittsburgh. I think he said he'll take less money to stay in Pittsburgh.
That I actually really, really like when players do that. I just not that I think that, you know, not that I think that you know, I'm like, I just lost my train of thought because I'm seeing this comment here. Not that I think that they're overpaid or anything like that. I just really like when football players come out and says, "Oh, hey, I would like to take a pay cut to get other players to, you know, get other players signed." You're really thinking more about the team than yourself. You know, you already make a lot of money being a football player, and you're just trying to get more and more and more, and that's fine. But at the same time, it's like I'd rather try and help build a dynasty than, you know, take a lot of the cap space. So I mean, I really like that. It's really cool.
Well, does he want to take less money to be, you know, if Dwayne Haskins is his quarterback though? That's, you know, that's why I always say wide receiver. If I'm a free agent, I'm not looking where I'm going to make the most money. I'm looking where I'm going to have the best quarterback. That's what's going to make me.
Where's Jimmy Garoppolo going if he were to get traded?
New
You know,
England.
where? Oh,
New England.
Yeah, that's one place that we've entertained. For me, honestly, I don't think Garoppolo is that strong of a player to, you know, honestly, I could really see his career kind of like fizzling out. I don't really see it, you know, picking back up. I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon.
Who would want him? I think that's the bigger question, because who do we think still needs a quarterback? And Jacksonville needs a quarterback, but it's pretty much set in stone. They're going to grab Trevor Lawrence. Washington maybe can use a quarterback. They did just sign Heineke, but Heineke
I'm really interested in the Heineke thing. Like, I want to see what he does. Like, honestly, I don't want that to happen.
Right. I mean, he showed he has some spunk, but maybe you want to bring. And Garoppolo is kind of that Alex Smith type. I would put those guys in the same mold.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to make a lot of mistakes. Not going to take a lot of chances. Kind of just trying to win the game. Whoa. What happened? Lost my boy there. So answer your.
Might have lost connection.
Okay, so to answer your question, Nemo, I see you put here in the chat. Where's Sam Darnold going? We talked about that a little bit ago. I'm gonna say Denver would be a good spot for. There he is. He disappeared like a ninja. Now he's back.
Don't know what happened. Where's Sam D going? We kind of answered that question a little bit before. I think he's going to stay with the New York Jets. I don't see him really going anywhere.
That's a Russell Wilson dig there, bud.
Seattle better fix that line before Sierra takes him to the Giants. I wish I would disagree with you. They really do need to fix the offensive line. It's not. They weren't really bad, to be honest. I think they were ranked around the top 10 in average time per dropback. The problem is that the plays that they had, which most of it was intermediate routes being ran by the wide receivers, things that take a little bit of time to develop. They just didn't have no tempo on offense. These are a lot of things that he addressed, and this is why I really like the Shane Waldron sign from the Los Angeles Rams. I think that he's going to bring a new culture in the passing game. It's great to see somebody be more about the pass than the run over in Seattle, because we've always been more about the run, especially in our offensive coordinators' decisions. That's what Schottenheimer was, a run first guy. Darrell Bevell, hate him. As much as I hate him. He was a run first guy. Even though they like to pass the ball on the goal line, that's what they did. And I'm just really happy we got a guy like Waldron to kind of change things up for him. I just want to get on this comment. New England would be great for doo-doo. I'm sure Belichick is interested in a TikTok career after he retires. And to be fair, I think him throwing the phone would have been a great TikTok video.
It would have. I agree with that. I stand by that statement right there, Buck.
Yes, me too.
Well, we were just talking about, who still needs a quarterback. Well, New England can probably use one. Who knows what's going to happen with Cam? That's why I said would Jimmy G go back to New England? That's the question.
Honestly, if a quarterback goes to San Francisco, that's his only hope, in my opinion. He has some bad games.
Chicago, maybe.
I'd love if he went to Chicago. I would that'd make me so happy, just for my hate of Matt Nagy, and just would love to see that happen. That'd be hilarious. Oh, look, Matt Nagy can't get Jimmy Garoppolo to work either.
I really don't think Garoppolo is that bad of a quarterback.
I think that it says something about your game if you have a hard time throwing to the outside. Like, when you're a kid and you're throwing the ball, you want to throw the ball deep. You want to throw the ball outside. It's like you get a bunch of guys that are so passive and throw underneath all the time. It's not fun to watch. I know it works, but it's not fun to watch.
I was going to say, Joe Montana made a career out of that. Tom Brady
threw the ball outside. I had the same conversation with my buddy Joe.
Tom Brady made
the ball outside.
Brady made a career. Peyton Manning made a career out of that.
Brady has a great deep ball.
He does.
You remember when Moss went over there? You think that was all Moss?
I didn't say Brady has a bad deep ball.
Garoppolo has a bad deep ball, bro. You can't hit water if you fell out of a boat.
You could make a career out of the underneath West Coast offense stuff.
I think Garoppolo is comparable to Chad Pennington. Less accurate, of course.
That ain't so bad. By the way, Chad Pennington, probably the last decent quarterback to take Miami to the playoffs. That's Buck. I asked him if he wanted to come in and talk about his Bucks.
Yeah, and I know how you feel. I celebrated a Seahawks Super Bowl win for 8 years now. In fact, the banner's hanging up on my wall.
Wish I could say I've been celebrating a Miami Super Bowl, but last time they won one was before I was born. Oh, here we go. Is Tua the answer in Miami? What happens when Fitz isn't there to save him? Well, we're going to find out. And yes, I think Tua is the answer in Miami. I like Tua. I love Tua. I actually purchased 2 Tua jerseys, and I haven't bought a Dolphins jersey since my Merino one was the last one I bought. This was a gift. I think Tua is the answer. I think we're going to see him improve this offseason. Don't forget, he was, a year off of a devastating hip injury. Not making excuses for the guy, but that's the same injury that ended Bo Jackson. And my sidekick over here says, most of the problems with Tua can be worked on. It's all coachable stuff. I think a big problem in Miami is they need some more weapons. So they have Gesicki, who's a pretty good tight end. I actually think his contract's up, though.
He can come to Seattle.
I am not high on Devontae Parker. I don't like Devontae Parker. I didn't like him when they drafted him. So, yeah, I think Tua is the answer.
Did I get my Wilson jersey yet? No, I did not. And actually, I'm actually not going to get his jersey until probably his career is over.
Wow.
Cool.
Maybe if he gets us another Super Bowl ring. I'm like really critical on the quarterbacks for my football team. I'm glad that he plays as well as he is. I do think he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. It's just one of those things. Like I just don't want to get his jersey just for something to happen to him, and then he's not on there anymore. The jersey I'm really looking at though is Tyler Lockett. I really, really want his jersey.
Told you, bud. Get you a DK jersey.
Yeah, you might as well get a really good young wide receiver jersey early because probably not going to stay on the team forever. Buy you a Sierra shirt then. Are you saying like wearing one of Sierra's shirts? Or are you saying wear a shirt with like Sierra's face on it? Because I would definitely wear her shirt over a shirt with her face on it. I think.
Get you. No, not gonna say it. I was going left on that comment, but
you are. You're always going left.
I know. It was gonna get almost as good as the Antonio Brown Tom Brady roommate topic I had.
Oh boy. All right, bud. I got nothing. We're floating almost 2 hours here.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you guys having us here. As usual, you could make sure you guys head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Show us some love there. As always, we had fun talking to you guys.
Yes. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for everybody that came in. Thanks, Dave, for tagging so many people, keeping the live going, getting as many viewers as you possibly can. We want to thank the lady in the chair for everything that she's done. We do have a logo. If you look up at the top right of the screen above the Hawk helmet, there's the logo there. Song in the beginning, we're going to be hearing that is from Cruel Bomb. That is the end. If you like that type of music, go and check out Brandon James on Facebook. He has a band, and you can check out Cruel Bomb up on YouTube. That's great. But that's all we got there.
Got to answer
the question. Save that question for next time, buddy.
Oh, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Yeah, that's an easy one. Ohio State. That's what they do. But that's all I got. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.